Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video tutorial was previously shared on the Altenew YouTube channel, but I thought you would enjoy seeing it here as well. Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to remind you to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you learned or your favorite card from this video. Today, I'm going to be sharing some tips on creating shaker cards, and I'll also share a simple bonus card that you can create. Both of these cards feature the Build a Garden Leaning Lily stamps, stencils, and coordinating die set. I love the beautiful sentiments included in this stamp set, and of course there is a 4-piece stencil set available as well. This is great. You want to keep the packaging for both the stamps and the stencils because it will give you some card inspiration as well as some color inspiration. And the die set, I love that it includes the dies for the sentiments in the stamp set. So I'm going to start out with the shaker card, and I am stamping the beautiful Leaning Lily image in Obsidian Pigment ink onto some smooth white cardstock. I'm using my Stamp Wheel 2.0 to make sure I get a beautiful impression, and you can see I get the most perfect image. I'm going to remove it from the stamp wheel and sprinkle some clear embossing powder over the entire image, and then I will heat set that. Since I want to do some ink blending right away, this ensures that the pigment ink will not smear, but it also gives it just the richest black image that you've ever seen and a little bit of shine as well. Now for my ink blending, I'm placing that image onto my 9x12 Ultra Sticky Grip Mat, and I'm using stencil number 1 to color in the first portion of my flower. You will notice a couple of these stencils are divided into 2 parts using an etched line. So be sure to use the stencil guide included in the stencil set packaging to help you figure out where each of these elements is going to blend. I started by blending with the rose quartz ink with a large ink blending brush, and then I used a mini ink blending brush to add a little bit of puffy heart ink into the center of those petals. I'm also going to use the rose quartz ink for the second part of stencil number 1, and once I have that blended, I'll move into stencil number 2, where I'll be blending most of these buds with the rose quartz ink, but I'm going to make this single petal of this large open flower a little bit darker using purple wine. I'm also going to blend some aloe vera at the base of these buds to give them a more realistic look. And if I want to add some more color, I can go back to these areas later with my blending brushes and just reposition the stencils. Now for the center of that large lily at the top, I used Cosmic Berry and Purple Wine. That gives some really nice, rich, dark color. Now for the greens, I'm using the Forest Trail ink set, and I started out with aloe vera, which is the lightest in this color family, and I'm adding just a little bit of that matcha tea in certain areas on this stencil. Moving on to the next stencil, where I will blend the top of the stamen using Sunkissed, and I'm blending the greens using Matcha Tea and Swamp Green Fresh Dye ink. I'm going progressively darker with my greens as I work my way through the stencil, and for this final portion, I'm using the Swamp Green and doing a nice dark layer of that. I like to wipe my stencils before I remove them, and now you can see I have a beautifully blended image using those stencils. I don't have to be an expert colorist because these stencils make it so easy. Now I'm going to use the coordinating Leaning Lily die and die cut my element. This will be the focal point on my card, and it will sit in front of my shaker window. Now, before we get to making the shaker, I'm going to prepare some solid sentiment strips. This is the new One Go solid sentiment banners, and I love the variety of this. I'll be using the press plate version today to create foiled images, but keep in mind this is also available in a stamp set, or you can use the press plate with your Better Press letterpress system. Once the press plate is fully heated, I am going to remove the platform from the base. I'm going to take it over to my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine, and I'm going to add this ivory black foil with the pretty side facing down. I'll then add some smooth white cardstock, the thin shim and spacer pad, and run that through my die cutting machine. And you're gonna see that when I remove this foil, I have a beautiful, dark, black, rich image of all of these banners. This gives you 9 banners at a time. Now I did have a little bit of overfoiling, so I just gently wiped that with a microfiber cloth, and that removed my overfoiling perfectly. Now I can line up the coordinating die over all of those sentiments at one time, run that through my die cut machine, and now I have 9 beautiful sentiment banners ready to go for my cards. Now you'll notice on these One Go solid sentiment banners, there is some overfoiling, and that's designed to give you a little bit of grace just in case you don't line up the die perfectly. Now let's get on to the shaker. The first thing you need for a shaker is a window. And for that, you can use almost any die that you have in your stash. Today, I'm using the nesting arches, but you could use another simple shape or even an outline die or a shadow die from a sentiment set as well. Once I've die cut that arch in my card front, I am going to remove it from the cardstock and I'm going to line up the next largest nesting arches die around the outside. I'm going to hold them together with some tape. You can see that there is a very small frame created, and then I'll use that to die cut some brushed silver cardstock. This is just going to add a little accent to my shaker window. I'll attach that to the card front using some liquid glue, and then I'll flip this over and I'm going to add some acetate to the back side of this window. So as I mentioned before, there's just 3 things that you need to create a shaker card. You need a window, you need a wall, and you need a well. So by adding the acetate to the back of this die cut opening, we're creating that window. Now it's time to create the well. And I like to use this 1/8 inch thick and 1/4 inch wide instant dimension foam tape from Altenew to create my well. This is going to create a nice deep well and allow my shaker elements to shake around freely inside of the window. As I'm laying the foam tape down on the back side of this window, I'm making sure that the corners touch so that there's no areas where all of my shaker guts can shake out. So we've created our window, we've created a well, and now we need a wall. And a wall is basically anything that's going to keep those shaker bits inside of the well. So in this case, I'm keeping it simple and I'm using my card base as the back wall of my shaker element. I'm going to add a little texture to this card front using the Flourishing Coral Stencil and some Volcano Lake ink. And this card base is created from some Volcano Lake cardstock, so this gives me a nice tone on tone. Now it's time for the fun, and I'm using Dazzling Diamond Sequins for all of my sparkly shaker guts that are gonna be inside of the shaker card. I like to use a variety of sizes of these sequins inside of my shaker window because they catch the light in different ways and it adds a lot of interest. Now, because this shaker window is kind of edge to edge on this card base, I'm going to remove the photopolymer grip mat from my Stamp Wheel 2.0, tuck the card base up into the corner, and that's going to allow me to perfectly align this shaker window card front with my card base. Then I can simply add my Leaning Lily element onto the card front, trim off any excess, and now I'm going to add my sentiment banner that says "Just wanted to say hello." I'm going to use my Perfect Picker tool and add a few of these Dazzling Diamond Stellar Sequins to my card front, and I'm just adding some liquid glue and positioning those onto the card front. I did add a second layer of the One Go solid sentiment banners die cut underneath that sentiment strip just to give a little more color, and you can see now I have that shaker card. It was simple, right? Just 3 elements: the window, the wall, and the well create a shaker card. If you've been intimidated to try a shaker card before, I hope breaking it down in this way makes it a little more approachable, and I hope you'll finally give it a try because they really do wow the recipient. Now for card number 2 today, I decided to create a really simple card. I'm using some masking and I'll use that Leaning Lily Build-A-Garden set again. Now, in order to remove a little bit of the stick from this satin masking tape, I'm pressing it onto the palms of my hand before I'm laying it down around the edges of this panel that is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. You can see I'm actually masking a little bit off of the edge to create a larger rectangle towards the center. Once I have my masking in place, I'm going to use a large ink blending brush and start adding my color. I'm starting out with the rose quartz ink. I'm adding it more intense towards the bottom, but I am bringing the color all the way up this rectangle. Now you'll notice that I am not taking great care to make sure my ink blending is perfectly smooth. These fresh dye inks will kind of dry back and smooth out as they dry, so I don't have to be ultra careful about making sure my blend is perfect. Once I've done the rose quartz over the entire area, I'm bringing in a little sun-kissed towards the top, and then at the bottom of this blend, I'm bringing in the purple wine. I'm making sure that it stays more intense towards the bottom, and after I have all of the colors added, I went back to the rose quartz ink and blended over those areas where it intersects to make sure that that blend is nice and smooth. Now, this is not slow motion. I'm actually removing this masking tape very carefully because I created a panel before this and I ripped my cardstock at this point. So I'm just making sure that I go really slowly. Now on that first panel, I hadn't actually pressed the satin masking tape onto the palm of my hand. So I did have a little more stick on the satin masking tape, but this time it's coming off very nicely with no rips in the paper. So just make sure you go slow and that you add a little bit of the oil from your hand to remove some of the stick before adding it to your cardstock. So now I've removed all of that masking tape and I have this beautiful blend in the center of my cardstock. I'm going to add the Leaning Lily kind of overlapping that rectangle, and it is important that you make sure your stamp is nice and clean. We used the obsidian ink on this stamp earlier, so I made sure to give the stamp a good cleaning before I laid it over the top of this ink blended panel because I don't want any old ink residue ending up on my card front. Now, once I had that positioned, I went ahead and picked it up with my flip plate. I inked it up with the obsidian pigment ink and stamped it onto my card front. I'm adding my One Go Solid Sentiment banner on with the 1/8 inch thick Instant Dimension foam tape. And for the card front, I adhered that with the 1 inch wide but 1/16 inch thick Instant Dimension foam tape. It's my favorite for adding card fronts to card bases. I added this onto a Volcano Lake card base and finished it off with a few of the Dazzling Diamond Stellar Sequins, again adding those using my Perfect Picker tool and some liquid glue. I love this ink blending color combination and I love it combined with that Volcano Lake cardstock as well. I think it's absolutely stunning. So there you have it, a couple of card ideas featuring the Build a Garden Leaning Lily set. I absolutely love this set because it can be dressed up or dressed down and used for a variety of occasions. I would love to hear in the comments below which of these two cards is your favorite, and did breaking down these shaker elements really help you to be less intimidated to create a shaker card? That's really my hope today. Now, as always, I will have links to the featured products used in these projects in the YouTube description below. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there, or you can head on over to the coordinating blog post. I'll have that linked in the YouTube description below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. I want to say thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed these projects, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of the paper crafting and card making video tutorials shared. Thanks again for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. To subscribe to my channel, click the button on the left side of the screen, and here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.